Good day, everybody. I hope that you are well, and I also hope that you are having a good day so far. Today, we'll be doing our grade 3 to 5 English lesson on prefixes and suffixes. And before we start, we're going to log on to aplusstudents.ca. Once we've logged on to aplusstudents.ca with our username as well as our password, and then we're going to select the subject of English language arts. We're doing grade 3 to 5. And then we're going to scroll down up until we get to our chapter of prefixes and suffixes. All right. So our chapter is prefixes and suffixes. Our subject is English language arts. We're doing grade 3 to 5. And the lessons that we are going to be focusing on under the chapter of prefixes and suffixes, we're going to identify base words, prefixes, and suffixes. And we're also going to determine the meaning of words with pre, re, or miss. All right. So when it comes to prefixes and suffixes, right? We have a base word, right? Before we even think of prefixes, before we think of suffixes, then we have a base word. And this base word is a word that can stand on its own. And then with this base word that can stand on its own, with the base word that can stand on its own, right? We can also combine words with the base word. We can basically combine prefixes and we can combine suffixes with the base word. A prefix is a word that you add in front or at the beginning of a base word. And when it comes to the suffixes, then the suffix you write at the end or you add at the end of the base word. And once you, for example, remember a base word is a word that can stand on its own, that is its own meaning. But as soon as you add either the prefix or you add the suffix to the word, then it basically changes the meaning of that word. So when it comes to the prefix, remember we said that a base word already has its own meaning. But once we add the prefix and once we add the suffix of the word, then it changes the meaning of the word. Happy New Year to you guys. And we said when it comes to prefixes and suffixes, they can also be used on their own. All right. So now we're going to look at a few words, right? Of where we had a base word and we added the prefixes and we add suffixes. And then we can look at a few sentences. Not even sentences, we can look at words and then go into A plus students.ca. All right. So when it comes to our base word, our prefix and our suffix, remember we said that a base word it can either stand on its own, or you can add a prefix, or you can add a suffix, or you can basically add both. All right. So we said that, remember, we also said that a base word has its own meaning. All right. So if we look at the word unhelpful, right? Look at this word. You see, help is a word that can sit on its own. So help is a word that can sit on its own because that is a base word. If we make a sentence, we can say help, or I help my mom, or I help my aunt, or you do something. But now when we add the prefix to that word, it's a word that we add in front of that word, then it becomes unhelp, right? But now we add the suffix and then it becomes unhelpful, meaning that I help someone. It's something that you're doing, it's an action. But as soon as you become unhelpful, then it means that it changes the meaning now of that word because you are not helping. And if we look at the prefix "an," it is the word that we add before the base word, and the word "full" comes after the base word. And we say that once we add the prefix at the beginning of the base word or before the base word, and once we add the suffix which comes at the end of the base word or after the base word, then it basically changes the meaning of the word. So knowing the meaning of this of the prefix or of the suffix is important in order for you to know in case the wording changes. And if we look at the prefix pre, right? Pre means before. Yes, like pre-make. It's like before you make something, right? Pre-make something. You pre-eat something. And if you look at that prefix word, right, that says pre. Pre means before. And that is why we say knowing the meaning or knowing the meaning of the words or the prefix will help you to know the meaning of the new word that is being created. And then we have re. And re means again. Re means again. So if we look at a few examples of the word re, then it's like saying redo, to do again. We can even say remake, it's to make something again. Retry, it's to try again. Repeat, rewrite, yes, it's like you're doing that things again. Well done. And then we have the word miss. And miss, the prefix miss, it means either incorrectly or it means poorly or wrongly. Like, for example, if you misread something, it means that you read incorrectly. Misbehave, yes, well done. It means that you're behaving badly. Or we can say misunderstand. All right. So now we're going on to A plus students.ca. And then we're going to identify base words, prefixes, and suffixes. And we're going to determine the meaning of the words with pre, with re, and with miss. Yes, misplace. It means that you put something on a wrong place. You misplaced something. Well done. Misread. You read wrongly. Mistrust. Meaning actually we don't trust you. All right. So now we're going to A plus students.ca. All right. So we're going to identify words like base words, prefixes, and suffixes. All right. So remember, we said that a base word is a word that can stand on its own, and we add a prefix in front of the base word, and we add a suffix at the end of the base word, and then it basically changes the meaning of those words. All right. And if we look at these words, loudness. We actually not yet you. Let's quickly go back. And remember, we said the base word set on its own. We add a prefix like at the beginning of the base word, and we add a suffix at the end of the base word. All right. All right, so now let's go to prefixes with pre, re, and miss. We said that if we have a prefix with pre, and then it means before, re means again, and miss either means wrongly. All right. Remember, we said that pre means before, re means again, and then we have the word miss. Miss either means wrongly or it can mean incorrectly, right? Wrongly or incorrectly. All right, so now we're going on to our test. All right, so we need to say what does pre-cooked means? Pre-cooked. So what does pre-cooked means? Pre-cooked does it mean it's cooked again? All right. So pre-cooked, is that to cook again? Yes, and we can say it is option two, to cook before. Because remember we said pre means before. Re means again. So now we say, what does reuse mean? Is it option one, used again, or option two, used poorly? So reused, is it used? Yes, well done. And reuse, if we want to say reuse, then we can say it is to use again. Well done. Option one is correct. The next one says, what does retie mean? Retie, is it to tie before, option one, or to tie again, option two? Retie. Retie. And remember, we said retie is to tie again. Remember, we said that if we use the word re means again. It's like anything again. If we use the word pre, then pre means before. All right, premix. Premix. What is premix? Is it mixed again, option one, or is it option two, you mix before? All right. Premix is to mix again. Oh, premix before. Sorry, remix is to mix again. Sorry, premix is before. Remember, we said pre means before, re means again, and miss is either incorrectly or it is wrongly, right? Why is this thing taking so long? Okay, we didn't get to this one. Now we're going to identify base words, we're going to identify prefixes, and we're going to identify suffixes, right? What is a suffix? Remember, a suffix is a word that you just add at the end of the base word. Prefixes you add at the beginning of a base word, and a base word can stand on its own. So what is a suffix of boneless? Is it less option one or bone option two? Boneless. What is the suffix? It's the word that we add at the end of our base word. All right. And if we were to choose the correct option, then yes, a less is our suffix that we add at the end of our base word. Well done. Option one is correct. The next one says, what is the prefix in redraw? The prefix in redraw. Is it draw option one or re option two? The prefix. And if we were to select the prefix of that sentence, and yes, re is the prefix. Well done. Option two is correct. What is the base word in refold? Is it re option one or fold option two? All right. And if we were to select the base word of the word refold, then yes, the base word, well done, is option one. Re is our, oh, sorry, the base word is fold. It's the word that can stand on its own. I put the prefix, sorry. The base word is the word that stands on its own, which is fold. Well done. Fold. We need to select the suffix. It's the word that we add at the end of the base word. Calmly. The suffix calmly. Is it li or is it calm? The suffix is it li option one or calm option two? And if we were to select the suffix, then li, well done, option one. is our suffix. It's the word that we add at the end of our base word. Well done. What is the base word of misnamed? Misnamed. Is it miss option one or named option two? The base word that can stand on its own. All right. And if we were to select the base word, the word that can stand on its own, then we can say it is option two, named or name. Well done. What is the prefix? The prefix of pre-washed. Is it option one, pre, or is it option two, washed? Yes, and if we were to select the prefix, then it is pre. It's the word that we add at the beginning of our base word. Pre. Well done. All right, the next one is, what is the prefix of retie? The prefix, the word that we add at the beginning, retie, is a tie option one or re option two? The prefix. All right, and if we were to select the prefix, then it is re, because re means again. What is the suffix of the word closely? The suffix is a word that we add at the end of our base word. Closely. Is it option one, li, or option two, close? And if we were to select the suffix, then it is li. Option one is correct. Well done. So this is now the end of our lesson on prefixes and suffixes. In our next lesson, we are going to do prefixes and suffixes again because, as you can see, there's still a list of lessons that we must go through. right? So in the next lesson, we are going to do prefixes and suffixes again. All right, so this is now the end of our lessons. We said that a prefix is a word that we add at the beginning at the of a base word. A suffix is a word that we add at the end of the base word. A base word can stand on its own, right? We focused on the prefix, which is pre means before, re means again, and mis means incorrectly, right? So that is the end of our lesson. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining. And I really hope that you're going to have a good day further. So till next time, goodbye.